おいおいおい、喧嘩は終わり？そんなのてめえの決めることじゃねえだろうが。
ほら、終わった。
Few things are more satisfying than seeing a character get destroyed in one hit, especially if said character has been made to look strong and unstoppable. However, even when the victim isn't a top-tier fighter, seeing unadulterated destruction like this makes me so happy. After all, the victor does get his oftentimes defining moment in the show, something which fans will talk about for years to come. So in this video, I'll be sharing some of my favourite one-hit knockdowns in anime. Let's not waste any more time and jump into the list. No rankings this time, and I hope you enjoy it. We start off with what I'd call a defining moment for Hunter x Hunter.
俺様がこの手でバラバラに。
A cool thing about storytelling, whether it's anime or otherwise, is that the entire tempo, the entire feel of a show, can change in just a single moment. One swift event is all it takes for people to realize that, hey, this might not be a typical anime after all. Hunter x Hunter has got a lot of these moments, and by the time Killua vs Johness happened, people already knew they're staring at a gem of an anime. That still doesn't diminish the impact of this fight, especially given what happened. How often do you see someone one-shot anyone by literally ripping his heart out? This moment probably solidified the fact that Hunter x Hunter isn't your typical shonen if it hadn't been already. It's not afraid to pull its punches, and it's not every day you see these kinds of anime go past the bounds of standard shonen violence and give us such a graphic display of destruction, all while one of the good guys looks unfazed doing it. This moment caught some people off guard, and I sure think that statement still holds true to this day. What a way to assassinate someone. A fight in Bleach, often lost in the footnotes, is the next moment on our list. Do you still remember who Kenpachi's last opponent in the anime was? I won't blame you if you don't, since reception for the FULLBRINGER arc has been middling at best. I also won't blame you because the fight was over faster than you could make a coffee. Heck, Kenpachi and Giriko spend more time talking than actually fighting. You expected a big throwdown that would push Kenpachi to his limits? Or, well, at least something that lasts long despite the majority of it happening off screen like Yami. Nope. Kenpachi just finishes the fight the Kenpachi way. A clean bisection, ending the fight in one hit. Looks like our bloodthirsty friend just got even stronger after the time skip. So much for Giriko putting on all those theatrics and blabbering about his powers. Kenpachi don't give a damn. Is this the shortest fight in all of Bleach or what? I mean, I don't have a way to fully confirm that off the top of my head, but it's got to be somewhere there, right? Fairy Tail has a lot of these one-shot fights and it's become a meme, but I think that Natsu vs Bluenote is one of the instances where the one-hit KO feels very satisfying. Fairy Tail's post-time skip Avatar arc kicks off in a big way, setting the gears off with an invasion of Margaret Town courtesy of the guild Orochi's Finn. Leading the charge is an old familiar face, Bluenote Stinger from the Tenro Island arc. Yes, that guy who gave Gildarts a run for his money is back, and now our heroes have to take care of him without their most powerful member. Wendy and Sheria find themselves struggling against his gravity magic, then Natsu just comes in, and we all know what happens next. He no-sells gravity magic and absolutely dumpsters Bluenote with Fire Dragon King's Roar. And just like that, invasion over, and the heroes have won. I wouldn't put it any other way. Post-time skip, Bluenote has become a joke. I know the fight was written this way to make Natsu look strong, but this is really pathetic for someone who pushed Gildarts to the limit back in Tenro Island. He had all those years to train too. Not good for Bluenote, but hilariously entertaining for Fairy Tail fans. One-shot fights are commonplace if you're Tatsuya, so Mahoka gave us one as early as the first arc. With all the memes floating around, it doesn't take a lot to know that Mahoka has a lot of these one-shot moments. You know, scenes that just showcase how almighty our protagonist Tatsuya is compared to all the puny ants in the Mahoka universe. Mahoka's pretty much a series of Tatsuya flexes one after another. My favourite has got to be the finger snap of Doom versus Masaki, but that battle is more of an evenly matched and drawn out battle, believe it or not, and it even had Tatsuya suffering lethal injuries that he didn't have the ability to just resurrect himself. So, we move on to victim number 1, arrogant schoolmate Hanzo. Taking Tatsuya's weird categorization to heart, if you're so confident in being able to win a duel, should be an easy battle against one of those weak underdogs then, right? All he has to do is to aim his CAD, outskill him in magic casting and, oh no, that ought to show the guy. Hanzo better stop looking down on weeds because just like any school's grading and categorizing systems, student evaluations may be the most accurate thing in the world. Demon Slayer makes an appearance with Zenitsu's shining moment. Zenitsu is known for many things, mainly unflattering things like the noise and the crying and the huge crush on Nezuko. However, while he may seem to be the most timid and bumbling within Tanjiro's group of true companions, don't let the reputation fool you. Most remember the Natagumo mountain arc for the legendary Hinokami Kagura and the first direct involvement of the Pillars. However, I'm sure that most people would agree that Zenitsu also stole the show with his battle against the Spider Demon. Heck, if it weren't for Tanjiro's moment, I think that this would be the moment of the arc where an unassuming Zenitsu finally unloads the power he's been hiding inside with a one-shot victory. Granted, it's not against a super significant enemy, but you gotta admire Zenitsu's spirit to unleash this while suffering from all the injuries he already had. I dare say that in this arc, he's actually the most badass of the group, and that's including the Kamado siblings in the equation. There, I said it. Asta vs Seke's up next, and is this one pretty stomp? Ever noticed that a lot of these moments so far involved one arrogant jerk getting put in their place? Yeah, here's more of that, this time coming from Black Clover. Magic duels form one of the most fundamental trials for aspiring Magic Knights, so you'd expect a couple of rotten eggs and assholes somewhere in the tournament. Asta faces one such jerk in Seke, who's so confident that he can easily defeat Asta. It's not hard to see why, objectively speaking. Seke feels that he has fully prepared for whatever Asta can throw his way with his impenetrable shield. Too bad for him though, his pitiful shield is no match for Asta, and he gets one-shotted in a shocking turn of events. In hindsight, the moment feels like it can be diminished due to Seke holding back, but I don't think that matters. When we all saw this moment, it sold us on Black Clover, and it's an awesome one-shot knockdown whichever way you put it. Next up in line is Mikey's one-shot on Hanma.
ほら、終わった。
Tokyo Revengers has hit the ground running and has quickly become this season's phenomenon. Blending together the fun aspects of the time travel story and Japanese delinquents is quite the novel premise, and it does open up to a lot of fights where both combatants dare to go down and dirty with each other. Of course, fights of that nature also open the doors for some of the most satisfying knockdowns, and in this series, one of the more notable ones is when Mikey just flat out one-shots Hanma with a kick. I just love the way the moment gets built up with all the trash talking Mikey receives. Then, without another word, he just finishes it and follows up with his own chilling one-liner. All that after Mikey just got beaten to hell and back. It's so satisfying to see an arrogant slob get what's coming, and Hanma gloating before getting destroyed also doubles as one of the most gratifying moments in the show. I could just feel the emotion in that kick. Talk about making an impact, am I right? As we continue with the list, let's feature everyone's favorite one-hit wonder, Saitama. Saitama has made a career out of one-shotting enemies, that we all know. Among all of them, which one is his best though? It varies from person to person, but personally, I think that the second arc's climax against Kabuto is the best one. What I love about this scene is that it already established what a threat Kabuto was. He already beat Johness beforehand, and he still had a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Then, we see him suddenly retreat from Saitama out of instinct. It's that danger sense that works so effectively when presented in visual media. Intuitions are often correct, and all the more so for Kabuto. Nope, that new form isn't going to save you, and neither is that head start you got in roughing Saitama up. Not when you're up against the strongest hero of them all. One punch is all it takes, and your time is up, Kabuto. At least Kabuto put an impressive spectacle of an offensive that would put JoJo to shame, no matter how futile it ultimately ended up being. Lastly, we wrap this up with a one-piece moment. Knowing how big a fan I am of the series, of course we'll have a one-piece moment in here. My one-hit knockdown of choice for the series is Luffy vs Bellamy. Now, let's start with a question. What kind of one-shots do you like? The one where the hero just tanks or avoids all attacks before responding with a stomping, or the one where the victim never even gets a chance to gloat. If you're in the camp which prefers the former, then this one's for you. To be fair to Bellamy, he got to show off his arsenal. With Luffy not wanting to fight him, he gets free rein and the green light to start firing himself into his supposed enemy. Then he just had to make the mistake of insulting Luffy just before going for his final attack. Big mistake. Luffy just destroys him in one punch, just like a good hero should do. Considering what happened earlier on in the arc, this is easily one of the most satisfying moments in One Piece. Now that I'm done, I'd like to know what your favourite one-hit knockdowns in anime are. It could be serious or the comedic ones. Just take your time to share your thoughts in the comments section below. You could surely come up with something that I may have overlooked, and I'd love to learn about more moments like these. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. You can check out both memberships and my Patreon, all which are linked below, for more ways to support the channel. Your help would be very much appreciated. I'll be looking forward to seeing you for the next video. ViniiTube signing off for now, and I'll see you next time.